It's been a while. How's it going, everyone? We're gonna be showing you, or I'm gonna be showing you, how I added inches to my shoulders and arms. Now, if you want to see where I actually measured that I added inches to them, you can click the video right here. But I'm gonna take you through the routine. I'm gonna throw on the voiceover, give you the tips, tricks, everything that I've been doing in order to actually gain inches on the shoulders, okay? So we're gonna go through that now. We got the cameraman over there in the distance. So stay tuned, check out this workout. We're gonna blast it, let's go. Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome to the video. Thanks for stopping by, thanks for watching. I'm just gonna dive right in here. So we're starting these shoulder workouts off. Any pressing, any pulling, any upper body exercise. I like to do a mobility workout most of the time, but just taking you through these basic rotator cuff stimulators slash builders, whatever you want to call it. By the way, I know you're admiring those new specs. Bet you most you didn't know, but I'm actually almost legally blind. My prescription is extremely high, which is why when you probably look at the glasses, you'll notice they're very magnifying. But yeah, I'm excited to bring you this workout and give you some tips and tricks as to how over the last year I've been able to add inches to my shoulders and over an inch to my arms. So pumped for you guys to be here. Let's see what we got. Alright, so we're gonna be starting off with that warm-up that you saw. Now the first thing here is shoulder press, okay? So we're gonna be hitting, T-Grizzy just warming up, but we're gonna be hitting shoulder press first, seated dumbbells. Also keep in mind that, and like I said, I'm gonna be giving you tips throughout the workout, but we like to keep frequency high with the shoulders. Also some tips on how to execute certain exercises that we're gonna go over. So first thing, shoulder press seated with the dumbbells. Nice and controlled, okay? You wanna make sure you're isolating the shoulder on this. You're not using too much momentum from the core or from the legs. All shoulders, nice control on the way down, full range of motion, as you're gonna see in a sec. Let's check it. So we supersetted the dumbbell shoulder press with upright rows with a dumbbell. You can do it with a barbell, that's what we usually do. Decided to switch it up and see how the dumbbell feels. Just choose which one you prefer. This is not something that I used to do for the shoulders to help them grow, but I definitely found that if you take enough rest in between the shoulder press set and the upright row set, then it's not going to impact your shoulder press and you're going to get more volume in less time. So, you know, a superset like that is somewhat of an antagonist set, and antagonist sets save time, get you more volume, don't impede performance. So this is definitely one that's going to be adding even more inches to the shoulders. Moving on to the next exercise. Alright, and one thing to keep in mind here is shoulder press is not, I repeat, not responsible for most of the shoulder gains I was making. Why? Because I actually wasn't directly doing a dumbbell shoulder press or having a shoulder day, as you'll find out later. So we literally only do 3 sets of this, get some volume in, get some heavy weights, keep the intensity up, and break the muscle down. That's all this is, 3 sets, and we move on to the next one. And the next one is where, you know, we start getting into what really added inches. In other words, you know, width to the shoulders. We're looking at side lateral raises. I'm sorry about the camera focus, by the way. Something's wrong with the lens or something. I gotta fix it. But you can see what you need to see here. Nice and controlled. Look at the arms. Very, very straight. All right, that is key because you're gonna really isolate. And I was a proponent, or sorry, I should say, I was responsible for doing these incorrectly almost every year that I've been training. Only somewhat recently have I implemented the completely straight arm. You'll notice completely straight, all shoulders, all side laterals. It makes a big difference. Yes, you're gonna have to put your ego to the side, especially since, you know, it's gonna be very lightweight, but trust me, the burn, the pump, and you know, the lightweight allows for much higher frequency, much higher reps, in other words, much more volume. All that stuff is a massive benefit you're gonna get from doing these, doing them often, and doing them right. So as you see, the shoulder pump is too real. They just finished hitting those laterals, supersetting them with rear delt raises. That's obviously going to isolate the side and the rear delt. Now that is the key as to what makes my shoulders look 10 times bigger than they used to, is the fact that, oh shit, this camera's damn heavy, is the fact that you've got to develop the side and the rear head. And the best way to do that is by hitting it with frequency, okay? So continuing that trend, we're going to this back room here and we're gonna keep blasting laterals and rear. So let's show you how that works. All right, so this next superset that we're doing here, this is one of the most important ones because isolating the side delt with the single arm cable, the cable ensures that there's tension at all times. Behind the back ensures that you're not getting the front delt in there. So people do it to the front and they usually get a lot of front delt without realizing that they're not hitting the side as effectively as they want to. So doing it behind the back isolates it even more. And then we superset immediately with more rear delt. Now, what I actually did to gain those inches on my shoulders was I would superset with face pulls, for example. So the face pulls are, you know, kind of a hidden gem that a lot of people don't do, and it's actually gonna target the rear delts better than almost any other exercise. So that one, the rear pec deck and the rear flies, gotta target that rear delt from every angle, okay? So that's what we're gonna do next.
You can adopt. Visit adoptuskids.org. From the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Adopt U.S. Kids and the Ad Council. This is the Hard Rock Channel on Base FM.
Too strong.
Let's take a thumbnail right there. Alright, so we're back in the starting room. Just a little finisher about the shoulders there. That's all we did. One thing to keep in mind is I actually didn't have a specific shoulder day back in my lean bulk phase. I only did shoulders on push day and pull day, which I did 4 times between the two a week. So that means that the frequency, I was hitting side delts and face pulls or rear flies, talking 4 times a week. And that is one of the biggest keys that I can leave you with, is frequency. So for example, right now I'm trying to bring up my chest. This time around, for the next year, I added more chest on my other arm days. So frequency is, for me at least, and for most of you out there, is gonna be one of the #1 factors to triggering more muscle growth. And now that we blasted shoulders, as you see, the pump is real. It's time to hit some arms, because now the arms look a little small. So we're gonna superset, 2 supersets, buys, tries, and we're good to go. We're already warmed up, time to crank it.
Yeah, so if you've been following me for a while, you will have seen that that's like the 3rd time on camera that these machines have broken on me. Only on camera, which is crazy. Luckily I haven't gotten injured or nothing, but here we go, blasting some arms now. As you see, the arms are getting pumped up. Now, this isn't just shoulders. I've also added an inch of pure muscle, meaning my shoulders have increased by an inch, but also gotten leaner at the same time. So that's how I know that. And as you see, a big tip here is to make sure your elbow stays locked, slight flexion at the top, and control it on the way down. Really focus in on squeezing that bicep. I could not emphasize how much this has helped me enough. Squeeze, emphasize, mind-muscle connection, baby. And we superset this with tries. I do laying dumbbell skull crushers. You see me do quite a bit of that. Tyler's got a bit of a buggy shoulder, or 2 buggy shoulders, so he supersets with this, which is also a great option. You know, this is a great mass builder for the tries. The point is antagonist set by try by try. That's how I've been running it for the last couple years. No need to spend straight sets on each one, all right?
Alright, so for this superset, if you watch any of my other arm day videos, it's the same kind of thing that we do there. Just basics, okay? When it comes to arms, people want to do all these complicated cable this and cable that. We're just sticking with basics. Curls and skull crushers, and then after we go cable curls and cable push downs, okay? On top of that, just improving through your progress of your presses is gonna help build up the tries even more. That's where you're gonna get most of your gains from, so keep that in mind. And crank the arms out next. So this also has to do with frequency, high frequency on arms. In other words, hitting an arm day and arms after push and pull day. So we're looking at 4, sometimes 5 times a week. Literally every day is arm day. Bradley Martin knows. So hit that, you're gonna start growing some damn arms. People always wanna know how many reps they should be doing. Should they go heavy? Should they go light, high reps? Because there's information for all of these, but honestly, just stick to a rep range somewhere between 6 to 10 reps, and just make sure you're progressing. So it doesn't matter if you pick high reps, it doesn't matter if you pick low reps, just pick a certain rep range that you want to hit. Every time you hit the upper end of that rep range, increase the weight 5 to 10 pounds, well, 5 pounds since it's a small muscle group, and then stick within that range. The pump is real. Okay, so this is how you put inches on your arms, right? In the last 2 years, I've put about 1 inch on my arms, lean. Actually, the leaner, so maybe more than an inch on my arms in terms of muscle. They used to be a weak point, and they're actually slowly becoming a strong point on my body. So if that's what you want for you, you gotta increase frequency, stick with the rep range. Don't keep alternating heavy, low, heavy, high reps. Don't keep alternating. Pick one, stick with it for a long enough period of time to progress through and see results. Hit your shoulders 3 to 4 times a week. If it's not growing, hit it 5 times a week. Just make sure that the volume comes down slightly to be able to keep up with the frequency, all right? Something to keep in mind, we're gonna be cranking this last superset. Also, I always recommend supersetting arms because it's an antagonist set. Biceps, triceps, gets more volume, less time, okay? That is the key here because time is money. And if you're spending 3 hours, 4 hours in the gym, you're losing money, you're losing time.
So just want to come back on and talk about, okay, form first. So as you'll see, my eccentrics very slow and controlled. This allows you to focus more on the biceps and make sure that the weight you're doing is appropriate. Now, look at my arms, man. I'm not saying this to brag. My arms are not by any means the biggest, but they have come up so much to a point where people always compliment my arms. They say, man, your arms are huge. Now, take it from me. I was the guy who could never, ever get big arms. It always, it was always tough for me. And look at them. Now they're lean, now they're shredded. Let me tell you this, it's gonna take time, okay? But if you use the tips that I gave you in this video, you're gonna speed the process up so much. If I had done this earlier on, I couldn't even imagine how much more size my arms would have on them now, but that's totally fine because we're moving forward and we're gonna get there. I'm glad to have learned this, and I'm happy that I can share it with you. Trust me, look at the tries, look at the buys. If you want respectable arms at a lean level, you want compliments on them, you gotta follow these tips. Same with the shoulders. It's gonna make you look amazing. It's gonna change and transform your physique. So take this to heart, guys. Check out the flex, and let's get these gains.
All right, so all done that workout, and shoulders and arm day is definitely something you should consider adding in if you're looking to add inches to your shoulders and your arms. Obviously, I think every male out there watching this wants that. For females, the same concept applies, all right? It's just, a matter of frequency, meaning hit it more often. If you're still on the bro split, you're still hitting stuff once a week, oh man, you're missing out like crazy. So definitely throw in another day. What I would do is go off of push-pull legs, whether you're advanced. If you're beginner, just do full body and add in some isolation like laterals, rear delts, face pulls, because they're good for shoulder health. And just hit arms at least, or even throw in an arm day on top of that. So 4 days a week, for example. Regardless, you wanna isolate, you wanna add frequency, you wanna increase volume over time, meaning increase the weight through a specific rep range that you choose and that you enjoy and that you prefer. That's how you add inches, man. Oh, the most important ingredient. Do all of that and then give it about 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, 5 years. I've been at this for 5 years trying to grow my arms like this, and my arms are at a solid 17, just over 17, pretty lean, as you guys noticed. It took me a solid 5 years, but let me tell you, if you apply the principles I'm telling you today, it's gonna save you a ton of time. So don't make the mistakes I made of just cranking arms once a week. Hit them 3, 4, 5 times a week if you have to. Make everyday arm day if you have to, but don't forget your legs, don't forget all the other muscle groups. You don't want to turn a weak point into a strong point and then have all the other strong points turn into weak points, right? So that's it, guys. I always appreciate you all watching the videos, supporting the channel. Any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do, leave them below. I'll get back to you. Subscribe if you haven't already, and follow my Insta. Guys, Appreciate you watching. Let's go make some damn gains, shall we? See you on that next video. I'm out.